Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a series of videos. My friend Debbie, who is craftyperson.com, does 3 retreats every year, crafting retreats, and they're lots of fun. And she had to cancel 2 of them this year. They're usually in February, March, the end of February, beginning of March, Leavenworth, Washington, and then August in, can't remember the name of the town now, in Washington at a retreat center, Union, Washington at a retreat center. And then my favorite one has always been her Handmade Holidays retreat, and that is at Rockaway Beach in Oregon. So she had to cancel Union and Rockaway this year due to COVID, and she decided to take the Rockaway Beach Handmade Holiday Retreat online. It is this coming Saturday, and the way that the retreat works is that, for this one anyway, Debbie is providing 12 projects, so that's included in the cost of the retreat. And each year she graciously allows me to make alternate projects to be shown for all of the techniques and or styles that she chooses. So for each of her projects, I make something that is my style. Our styles are very, very different. She says that I'm over the top. And I just put a lot more on my projects, usually. So this video is going to show project number 1 and my version of what she did. The retreat always centers around a stamp set, and the stamp set it centers around this year is called Wishes and Wonder, which is lots of fun, and this has matching die set. So she used that for almost all of her projects. I used it for a couple of mine. The whole deal with my alternate projects is to do whatever I want, staying within the theme, which is, the theme is Handmade Holidays. So a couple of mine I'm using this stamp and die set, and others I'm using others out of the current holiday mini catalog. So this was Debbie's project number 1. She calls it the Golden Deer. We currently have in our holiday mini catalog these cards and envelopes that are gold. So this is the envelope. It's like a brushed gold. It's really pretty, and I don't know how it's going to look on camera. And then the cards, it's hard for you to see. Maybe the card is a vanilla card, and it's got this gold embossing or gold foil printed on it. And then Debbie took the Wishes and Wonder stamp and die set, and she stamped and then layered on gold foil. She cut out this tag with some fun designer paper. There's vellum behind here that is stamped on the back, and then this is more designer paper. And then my favorite piece in the die set is this deer, so he's added to the front. And on Debbie's card, so she sent me a list of what her projects were going to be. Some of them hadn't been made yet, and so it was my interpretation of what the project was. And what I did was I started before I had her packet that had the stuff for one of each of her projects, and I had already used a piece out of this on something else. So on Debbie's card, this is some really pretty gold ribbon. I haven't bought that ribbon yet, so when I remade this card afterwards, I just used the gold foil. So what I'm going to show you, I didn't buy these cards and envelopes because it didn't click in my brain that that's what she was using, so I didn't get them purchased. And so what I am doing is showing how to make the same card without having the foil or the gold cards and envelopes. So I use very vanilla, and my card is going the other way. I use very vanilla thick cardstock for the base, and I cut a piece of the gold foil that's 5 by 3 3/4, and then I cut 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then I used this punch on the corners, and you can see that this is similar, it's just bigger, similar to the corner of what's on there. So let me put this together for the front. I'm gonna use this. You can use whatever kind of adhesives you prefer. Sometimes I use glue and sometimes I don't. So I'm going to add this to the front of my card. What I'm using right now is it's a retired product that Stampin' Up! Had that's called Fast Fuse, but I love it, and I had a bunch of it, so I'm using it till it's gone. It's an adhesive. I'm not going to just get rid of it. I should have done this part first. So this is stamped. This is a piece of vellum that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. Mine is smaller than hers because I'm dealing with a smaller space. And I'm going to stamp with garden green ink. Stamp this in 2 corners. And you have to be careful when you're stamping on vellum because it's easy to slide. It doesn't matter that overlapped, you're not going to see the center. As long as I have the ink open, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Hopefully I won't get my head in the camera. And I'm going to stamp my Tammy stamp on the back. So that part is good. This I'm going to banner cut the ends, and this cardstock is way longer than I need it to be, so the way I do that is I cut down the middle and then I cut it to each side, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine are never perfect. So that's that part. Get this stuff out of my way. I'm turning this over, and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and you see it made a little mark there, but that's okay. It takes a while for the ink to dry on vellum. So there's that. And then the die set right here. This is the die set that goes with it. It has this cool tag. So I have already cut out a tag using this fun paper. I am going to use the green side, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. I can unbury them. And normally I would back, because this is just designer paper, normally I would back the tag, but I'm putting it on a card where I'm going to layer other stuff on top of it, back it with cardstock to make it heavier. If I was using this as a tag, I would definitely do that, but because I'm going to put other stuff on top of there, I just put a couple extra dimensionals in the middle. Little boogers. Just did my nails and having a hard time working with them because I did them wrong. It's quite the disaster. And I should have a piece of ribbon to put in here, but I don't have any ribbon, so I'm not going to. I don't have the gold ribbon. And then I'm going to take my gold deer and put dimensionals on the back of him as well. He only needs a couple. I used 3, 2 on his body and 1 on his head. He's gonna go right there. And then this, I'm gonna put a dimensional on each end. And some adhesive right there. So I'm gonna stick this on here. There, so there's my card. This is Debbie's card, and this is my card. This one I wouldn't really call over the top. Debbie's was already very, very pretty, and when I was trying to think of something else to do that would be the gold and vanilla, this is what I came up with. I'm also going to show you how I made my own envelope, and this design, I wanted it to match, to come from the same paper pack. This designer paper is only 6 by 6, so I couldn't use an envelope punch board or anything like that. So I cut 2 pieces. Well, I didn't cut 2. I used 1 piece of 6 by 6, and all I did was round the corners, and I scored it at 1 1/4. And then I have 1 piece that's 6 by 4. And let's see, which do I want on the outside? I think I'm going to do the green on the outside. So this is very, very simple. You're going to be so surprised. Well, maybe not surprised, but I'm just going to put a very thin line of glue on 2 short sides and 1 long side. And then I'm going to lay this on here and match it up. Oh, only I did it wrong. Ha! My envelope's going to be different on the front than the back. I should have put the glue on the green side. So that's funny. See? Some days things just don't work out the way I want them to. Today's has been one of those days for sure. You should have seen me doing my nails. It was usually takes like 15 minutes. It took, how long did it take me? It took me 45 minutes, and now they're really thick because I kept using the wrong product. I wasn't paying it, I don't know what I was doing, but let me show you another envelope that I made that I did the right way. So this is you're gluing paper to paper, which bonds. This can go in the mail. It's not a problem. I don't know. It's not square, so it should go with based on the weight and or thickness of your card. You should be able to mail it with 1 stamp. So this one goes with this. That's silly that I did that like that. Messed it up. Goes in there, and this was the one that I made before, and this is the gold ribbon that I used in a different place. So this is my project, my alternate project number 1 for Debbie's Handmade Holiday Retreat. I will list the products I used down below. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day.